I welcome the chairperson, Dr. Venugopal, past IAP President Kerala and Senior Pediatrician, City Hospital, Ernakulam. Please come forward, sir. I would like to welcome the first speaker, Dr. R.L. Saritha, DHS Kerala. Please come forward, madam. I request her to talk on the topic, how Kerala tackled Nipah outbreak.
Good morning, everybody. We all know the occurrence of Nipah fever and its dreadful. And of late, yesterday there was a report by British Medical Journal that 23 people died of Nipah virus in Kerala. Whether that is true or not, we have the specialist and expert in that field, Dr. Saritha, to speak on that subject. And even that case, the Sudha who died of, is supposed to be the confirmatory, the husband is confirmed that it is Nipah virus. And the British Medical Journal has reported it yesterday. Yesterday's paper it has come. So madam can elaborate on that subject.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good morning. After the high-end academic panel discussion, what I have with me to share with you is a story, a true story blended with the mixed emotions of the people of Kerala. As you know, the state has experienced outbreaks of many communicable diseases in the past and has been fairly successful in containing most of these with limited loss of life and morbidity. But nothing was as terrifying as the Nipah outbreak, which spread in Kozhikode in May 2018. The district Kozhikode virtually came into a grinding halt, and it was almost like a ghost city for about a couple of weeks. The May 17th, 2018, that was the beginning of the battle, a battle where losing was not even an option. Here, family clustering of a similar illness of encephalitis sounded the alarm bell, and a group of vigilant physicians from Baby Memorial Hospital, Kozhikode, quickly picked it up. And our district public health team, led by the district medical officer, verified the incident on site. And it was like a one world, one health approach, because she took the veterinary and the forest team along with her entomology and the public health teams, and they tried to close all the possible loopholes by considering the possibility of waterborne, vector-borne, and zoonotic diseases, whatever be the causes. And on May 18th evening, I received a phone call from a proactive microbiologist, Dr. Arun Kumar, from the Manipal Center for Viral Research, where the samples were sent from Baby Memorial Hospital, that the report was positive for a virus. And he also added that he is not in a position to disclose the name of the virus because due to the international health regulation, it has to be reconfirmed from the National Institute of Virology, Pune. But the public health system sprang into action right from the first alert, and the district and the state public health services were in action even well before the etiological diagnosis was confirmed, and responsibilities were assigned and oversight committees were formed. And on 19th itself, our Honorable Minister, she reviewed the situation on site, and she addressed the anxious people of Kerala through a special media meet, because already social media hype has started by the time. And on 20th evening, I got the confirmatory message from National Institute of Virology, Director Dr. Mauri sir, that what we are handling is the deadly virus Nipah, about which the state of Kerala had not even heard in the past. And immediately after that, an emergency operations center was formed in the Kozhikode government guest house, and the DHS was posted there as the incident commander by the government. And this center coordinated various activities like the logistic management, infrastructure management, trainings, protocols, guidelines, and all other executive and administrative actions. And this is a schematic representation of that Nipah cell. And the state of Kerala never had a foolproof isolation facility till then. But then what we witnessed was a magic. The crowded tertiary care center, Kozhikode Medical College, Government Medical College, was transformed into an excellent facility for isolation with triage areas, and a block of 100 rooms was transformed into rooms where patients could be managed. And the necessary N95 mask, personal protection equipments were all made available through our procuring agency, KMSCL, and also some we got as donations from various national and international agencies. And at the same time, the state required an enhanced laboratory-supported surveillance, and the Manipal Center for Viral Research, which is a laboratory It is around 300 kilometers away from Kozhikode, and this laboratory is part of the nationwide network for viral studies, and they offered to support, and they also ensured that the report will be available within 24 hours. And regarding the drug management, in the initial stages of the outbreak, the physicians were mute spectators of the highly predictable 100% fatal outcome, and ribavirin and supportive measures were used with limited efficacy. But a high-level discussion with our government and ICMR, with some international agencies that possessed some drugs, experimental drugs, made it possible to bring those drugs from a laboratory in Queensland, Australia to Calicut Medical College within no time by obtaining the clearance of the Drug Controller of India and other licensing agencies within 24 hours. But fortunately, we never had any opportunity to use these drugs because there were no positive cases once we started the operations. And trainings and sensitizations were a continuous process, and all the health staffs in public and private system were trained on the various protocols and also on the waste disposal, logistic management, etc. And the Ebola protocols were modified according to the state socio-cultural, etiological, and demographic realities, and these modified protocols were disseminated to the healthcare system. And a dedicated group of ambulance drivers, the angels, they supported us in the transportation of the subjects, and they were given training. And when a person in the contact list gives some history of positive symptoms, he'll be transported by alerting this transportation system. And every Nipah related death was a heartbreaking news in the Nipah camp, because it was very difficult for us and also for the relatives. They were not even allowed to see their dear ones for one last time and bid goodbye. But a health officer from Kozhikode Corporation, Dr. Gopakumar, he willingly performed the last rites for most of the patient deceased. And our PHC staff also, they supported the families to bring them back to their normal life. And we had to adopt to the safe burial practices also, because cremation was not accepted in certain communities in Kerala. And the one and only success factor was the foolproof contact tracing. And all the persons who had some history of contact with the probable cases or the confirmed cases will be put in a contact list. And their health status was inquired every day, daily, morning and evening, through a dedicated phone call, and the database will be updated accordingly. And you can see that this was like a dynamic one, because the persons will be out from the contact list when the incubation period of 21 days is over and new cases will be added. This is also another example that the members of the health department knew very well that most of the contacts were their dear ones or they themselves. But still they were brave. They are determined to work day and night, no matter whatever be the consequences is. And daily activity was a unique one, and after this daily activity review, the top official used to meet the media persons. This time we never noticed any negative reporting, unnecessary blaming, or any prejudice versions, but the media persons also showed some true spirit of ethical reporting, and some of them were also close to the disaster in the initial phases of the outbreak, and we were concerned about their health also. And social media management, as you all know, these days it's very difficult, but we could manage to book 25 cases with the support of the police department, and they arrested 10 persons, and some extended activities like mental health support, public support system, like public distribution system by the government, all were in place, and research activities were also going in parallel with the system. By then, we lost our dear colleague to the deadly virus, and our departmental members were facing isolation from the general public. But they determined, they pledged to work day and night. And the nursing students also, they showed high degree of professionalism, and one among them were fighting with the disease. And this is, for completion's sake, this was the outcome. Out of the total 18 cases, we could survive 2 persons, save 2 lives. And it's not fair on my side to wrap up the session without mentioning something about the general public of the Kozhikode district, because they knew that the rest of the world was watching them. They were witnessing their dear ones falling sick and succumbing to the virus. The restrictions imposed on them was really hard, because they had to give up their journeys, their worships, their rituals, their celebrations, everything. But they stood together for this single cause with us. And let me take this opportunity to thank all those who joined us without being asked to join, all the professional, non-professional organizations, all the government and non-governmental organizations, helping hands from the India and abroad, and also all the voluntary groups and research partners. And a very special thanks to the Indian Academy of Pediatrics, Kozhikode branch, and also the Kerala branch for standing beside us to resolve our worries throughout the mission. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for that elaborate discussion about the Nipah outbreak and how it was controlled. Anybody has any comments or any doubts, any queries?
Hello? Discussion can
end of
can
the
be
talk.
held at the end of each sessions.
Sure.
So moving on to our next speaker, I welcome Dr. Ajit Kumar VT, HOD Department of Pediatrics, Government Medical College, Manjeri. Please come forward, sir. I request him to talk on the topic febrile neutropenia.